Hi, welcome to Alamance County Public Library's Notebook Paper Origami program. My name is Miss Tampa, and today is Earth Day, so I think this would be a great opportunity for you to find 2 pieces of notebook paper that you've used before. And if you have a paper clip, go ahead and grab that too. We're going to reuse all of these items to make some really cool origami toys. One is a popper, and then one is a butterfly. Okay, let's start with our confidence builder. So this will be your top and this will be your bottom. I am folding it upside down so that you'll be able to follow it more easily. First, we're going to take this top edge and fold it to our bottom edge. Essentially, we're folding it in half. Match the corners, and once you match the corners, hold your paper and press your crease down. Make that crease nice and sharp. Now open it up, and we're going to fold it in half the other way. So we'll take this edge and fold it over to this edge. Match up your corners again. Hold your paper down and press down your crease, really nice and sharp. Now let's open that again. Now we have some guidelines we can go by. We're going to use this center guideline for our next folds. We'll take this top edge and fold it down to the center guideline. When you're folding it down, make sure that your top edge is right beside or butting up against that guideline from top to bottom. But also make sure you're not going over that center guideline. If you go over that center guideline, it will be harder to do other folds later. Now we're going to take this edge here and fold it down to our center guideline on the other side. Essentially the same fold. Ideally, you'll have a tiny little gap in between because that will make future folds easier. Now that you have your little house, we'll turn it upside down and do the exact same folds here. Take this edge and fold it inward toward this line. And flatten your crease. Take this edge and fold it in toward this line, the center guideline, and flatten your crease. Okay. Once you have that, you can flip it this way. And fold it in half. Press down your guidelines. You might need to repress some of your creases. They'll get a little muddled when you're creating that new fold. So press that crease and press these creases down. Now, we'll take this corner. Oh, before we do that, we have our center guideline. It might be a little hard to see, so let's fold this in half, just so we can see that center guideline a little better. Now open it up, and now we can take this corner, because we're going to lift this corner, and in doing so, we're going to take this center line and have it meet our guideline, or this edge, and meet our center guideline. So we'll take this corner and fold it over and have that edge meet our center guideline. And flatten your crease nice and sharp. Now we'll take this edge and do the same thing. Fold it in toward the center guideline by folding this little corner over. Now press your crease down, and you're almost done actually. Just one more thing. Pick it up, and fold it in so that you have two flaps there, and press down your creases. Okay, so you'll see that you have these two little flappy parts here. You'll use those as a handle. This edge, this flat edge, should be facing your hand, and this corner should be facing away from your hand. And essentially, when you use this toy, you will flip it up and pull it down really fast. And when you do that, this little flap will open up. And when it does, it will create a really cool sound. I'll show you that at the very end of this tutorial, but for now we will set this aside and make our butterfly, which is a little bit harder. Okay, I have another sheet of paper. My writing is on the other side. That will make sure that the parts that I don't want anybody to see will be on the inside. We'll start by creating a square out of this piece of paper. Right now it's a rectangle, and we really need a square piece of paper to make this design work. So we'll start by folding this corner over and having this edge meet this edge. It's very similar to the folds that we were doing in our first design. And flatten our crease. You should have a nice point right up there. Now we'll turn our paper over. Again, this is your top and this is your bottom. We'll take this edge and fold it up. And do you see this bottom line here? We're going to use this bottom edge and match our fold up with it. Once we've matched it nicely, we can press that crease down. Now, you have a little bottom flap there. Just pull it up. If you're using scrap paper, your writing should now be here. All right, now we have a square sheet of paper to work with. Normally I might cut this flap off, but for this design, it's actually fine to have this just folded over. We're going to pretend that this is just part of the paper, part of the square. I'll turn it to its side there. Our next step is to fold this edge over to meet this edge. Essentially, we are folding this square in half. Once you match up the corners, you can flatten out your crease. Now open that up. We'll take this edge once again and fold it over, but this time we'll take it over to meet this center line. So we're folding this portion in half. Take this edge and fold it just to the center line. A little off. There we go. And flatten out your crease. I'll do the same to the other side. Fold this over. This edge should come to the center to meet this edge. Oh, and again, I guess I should stress, don't go over that center line, just touch it. If you don't go over the center line, future folds will be much easier. So now you have two little folds. You kind of have a cabinet now. So the next thing we'll do is mimic those folds we've been doing with our corners, only they'll be smaller. So we're going to take this corner and fold it over to meet this line, or well, this edge will meet this line by folding this corner over. From top to bottom, this edge should meet that center line. Flatten out your crease. Now do the same thing to the other side. Take this edge and bring it here to meet that center guideline. And flatten down your crease. Now let's flip it over. Do the same thing to the other side. Take the center edge, or this edge, and bring it to the center line. This top edge, and bring it to the center line. By folding that corner over. Same over on this side. You might even have a little line that had been created by our diagonal fold we did a while ago that will help you. We'll take that line and bring it in to the center. All right. So now we have kind of a boat shape. Turn it. It might even look like tulips. So now we are going to fold this over and press it down. So in my case, the longer part is facing me, but the shorter part should be facing you. We are actually almost done, but this is the most complicated part of this particular design. Take that short edge. You'll probably be using your thumb. Take the middle of that short edge and pull it back. I'm going to see if you can see that. Pull it back to meet this edge. But you aren't going to flatten your fold. You're just going to pull the center of that edge back so that it kind of looks like this. So you have two little points pointing up. When you have your two little points pointing up, you'll press down in the very middle, just the very middle, press down. And hopefully you can see what that looks like. So we're just basically pinching it forward. It almost looks like two little bat wings. When you're done, just let it go. Make sure that that crease that you just pressed down was nice and sharp though. Now we'll turn this over and flatten it. And turn it to its side. Put your finger right there. And wrap your finger on either side in what you just made. Bring these, actually, you might have guessed, these will be wings. Bring those up and match them up. And now pinch the very top of your finger. Now that you've pinched the very top of your finger, you can pull your finger out and you've made a little tube. So this is kind of, hopefully you'll be able to see this. You'll take your finger and press the very center. And you'll see that that line you made will make that kind of flatten in half a little bit. That little line will make it bend in. Now take your thumb and put it on one side and one of your other fingers and put it on this side and press them together. As you press those together, the top will want to fold down and you've got a butterfly. In order to keep the butterfly shape, you can get that paper clip I talked about and clip the two sides together, and that will keep its shape. And you can maybe make some designs on top, butterfly designs on top. But the coolest thing about this is, let's take that paper clip off, is that if you put your thumb right here in the back, and then you take one finger up front, if you move that front finger up and down, you've created a butterfly that flaps its wings. Okay, so now you know how to use this origami toy. Let me show you how to snap that popper that we made just a few minutes ago. So now that you've got your popper made, make sure that this edge is facing your hand and this pointy edge is facing away from your hand. You're going to grab the bottom, hold it up in the air, you can't see it anymore, but it's still there, and bring it down really fast. And you'll see that it opened. And to finish that off, just close it back up, and then you can start the whole thing again, up and down. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this today. I know I enjoyed looking for cool patterns for you. If you have anything you'd like me to teach you, we might be doing this again. Just put it in a comment below, and we'll see you soon. Bye.